Breaking news. The Jets have fired their head coach, Robert Saleh. And you know what they always say? To be a successful football organization in the NFL, you always want your quarterback to be your puppet master behind the scenes, secretly calling the shots. Ipso facto, pseudo GM. That's what you want to succeed in the NFL. Robert Saleh, gone, canned. The Jets got rid of their head coach after 5 games into the season with Aaron Rodgers playing football for him. Last year, of course, Aaron Rodgers got hurt after 4 plays. This year, just a little over 4 games, and Woody Johnson has decided they need a change. We'll see. I have very little confidence that this is going to work out for the Jets. There's so much to think about here, so much to talk about today, because in addition to this news, this surprising news that we didn't know was coming, that Robert Saleh had no clue was coming. Apparently, he went to work today, business as usual, and gone. The defense is shocked, surprised he's gone. But the Davante Adams trade still in the works, possibly, which would make Davante Adams quite possibly the most loyal player in NFL history. All right. Last night, we watched Derek Carr go down with an oblique injury in the Saints game. The Saints and Jets seem to be the favorites to land Davante Adams. But if you're Adams, you probably don't want to go to the Saints if your quarterback is hurt. And now your other team, the other team you liked, the Jets, they just fired their head coach. And call me crazy if I'm a player and I've got a choice to go somewhere, even if it's to go play with my guy at quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, I don't really want to go to the organization that just fired their head coach. I don't think that really fixes the offense, which is the problem for the Jets. Firing Saleh, I don't think is going to help their offensive line right now. And if I remember, Aaron Rodgers was the guy who didn't play well in that London loss to the Vikings, throwing multiple interceptions and just not looking good. Forcing a lot of passes. What do you have, over 50 passes in that game? Dear God, the Jets are a dumpster fire, though. The New York Jets are a dumpster fire. They are a paper plane. Your cursed logo's available at Benchwarmer shop. Matt Rule was the last head coach fired 5 games into the season. So the Panthers did that a couple of years ago. Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, has never fired a head coach mid-season. So congratulations. Woody is no longer a virgin. We've got Woody popping his coach firing cherry. The interim head coach for the Jets is, this just looks so much more hilarious now. Nothing wrong there, huh, Jets? Where's my interim? I liked all the tweets today that I want to show here. I was like, oh, if I like them, I can just scroll through the ones I want to show. I'm evolving, guys. I'm getting better at this live breaking news stuff. Jeff Ulbrich will be the new interim head coach for the New York Giants. Makes sense. Even though Nathaniel Hackett has head coaching experience, you don't really want him calling the shots. And you want to keep the consistency on defense. Now we're going to find out if the defense is going to be as good with Ulbrich or if this really was Robert Saleh's defense. Because you can criticize the Jets offense, you can criticize their record, and you can blame a lot of that on Robert Saleh. I've talked a lot about how I don't think he's a good head coach as a complete head coach. He's just too much of a defensive guy. He doesn't bring anything or didn't offer anything to the offense. And now you put another defensive dude in there, and we'll see if that makes any difference for the Jets. And yes, okay, the San Francisco 49ers, their defense has been struggling. I believe their red zone defense has been pretty bad this year. Robert Saleh, of course, got his head coaching opportunity because he turned the San Francisco 49ers defense into an elite unit, and he left for the Jets. Who's their coordinator? Nick Sorensen. Yeah, so Niners fans aren't a fan of Nick Sorensen as their DC. Maybe we see Robert Saleh go back to the 49ers. The Jets will always be the Jets. They're only one game back in the division, too. Yeah, they do have 2 wins. The division is up for grabs currently, and maybe a change like this saves their season. It's all going to depend on Aaron Rodgers. Their defense is very good. It shouldn't just suddenly get bad because Saleh's not there. And the only way the offense improves is if Aaron Rodgers starts playing better. We saw some nice flashes early in the season. They got to be able to run the ball better. They need some better protection. And if they get Davante Adams, it might actually work. And we might be saying in December, it was so smart of the New York Jets to get rid of Saleh and just let Rodgers run the offense and that side of the team the way he wants. But Rodgers got to play well. And he's 40, right? Or he is 40. He is 40 now. And I don't know if firing your head coach makes your quarterback younger and more effective. And we've seen a little hot and cold from Rodgers so far this year. I think he knew he was toast. That's why he wore the Lebanese flag on his shirt. If not, I think he should go after Woody for everything he can. Well, I'm sure he'll still get paid. He is Lebanese, so I don't think that had anything to do with it. Aaron Rodgers, path of destruction continues. Yeah, I don't know if making Rodgers the decision maker is, the smartest move. Time for Bill to give the Jets a second napkin. Yes, Bill Belichick famously resigned from his position as Jets coach and wrote it on a napkin. And he has been tossed around as a possible, this is the funniest one, Boston Connor. Dear God, the Jets' next head coach, a shaman. Maybe a shaman will lead the Jets. Boston, you win. You win the tweet of the day, Boston Connor. Yeah, so, 6 different starting quarterbacks for Robert Saleh. That makes it tough to win consistently in the National Football League. Trust me, I know as a Broncos fan. And this stat, starting 2-3 with Zach Wilson, also with Aaron Rodgers, also 93 points scored by your offenses. It's a tough look. It is a tough scene, as Barry McCuckner might say. I would love to see Bill Belichick come in right now as their head coach. The problem there is we won't get Bill Belichick talking every week. And the more he's on camera, the more he's talking about football, I think it's better for everybody. It sounds like he was losing the locker room. Quincy Williams came out after that London game and spoke about how he was tired of the same message and not getting results. Yeah, again, here's what, if you're Woody Johnson and you're thinking about this decision, this is a decision you make in the offseason. You've had multiple years of similar results, and you're hoping Aaron Rodgers coming in is going to change that, right? In 2023. If you didn't like what was happening on the field last year, and you can't put it all on just, the quarterback, especially when the quarterback coming to save your team is coming off an Achilles injury and he's 40 fucking years old, maybe make this decision and give the whole team time to work with the new head coach. Maybe they are that high on their defensive coordinator. I don't know. Moving into the interim role, I doubt it. But what you wanted to go out and probably do is hire an offensive guy to help your team. But now you do it after 5 games. This rarely works. You rarely see teams fire their head coach after week 5 and turn it around. And to counter Quincy Williams, you're getting the same results with Aaron Rodgers. The defense is good. The thing Robert Saleh was good at doing was working. I don't know how you fix the offense this quickly, unless Aaron Rodgers just starts playing out of his mind. The Jets is the Jets. Also, Bill should fire the terrorist-loving McDermott. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Yeah, fire the defensive-minded coach for the offensive problems. LOL, Jets are back. Yes, that's what I feel. That's how I feel. And I'm not saying the Jets shouldn't move on from Robert Saleh after this year if they don't, make a run in the playoffs. But you need another, what are we at, like 13 weeks of football to see where Aaron Rodgers is? The jury's still out on whether or not Rodgers is any good, right? I think if you go to Ben Solak's tweet about their defense here, their defense, first in points per drive, first in EPA per play, third in success rate, despite playing the fourth most snaps over that stretch, right? That means they're on the field a lot. They're getting no help from their offense, and they're continuing to play at a high level. And the defense played pretty well against the Vikings. The defense did not lose that game for the Jets. They left his ass in London. Well, he did come into work today, but leaving your coach in Europe would be hilarious. Sam Darnold is just going to be a one-man wrecking ball this season, wreaking havoc on every organization he destroys. Yeah, Sam Darnold, drafted by the Jets, and now he makes way for another quarterback or another vacancy with the Jets. Saleh with McVay. Yeah, I think Robert Saleh, I don't know if he'll start working as a defensive coordinator this season. There's always contract things, right? He'll be paid out. But if he goes somewhere, then that affects how he's paid. But maybe if he wants to start coaching right away, he would be a huge asset as a defensive coordinator. And I think his career path after this is as a defensive coordinator. Some guys are just better suited to coach one side of the football. I think Robert Saleh is one of those guys. Oh, yeah. I mean, would he technically? But this is Rodgers pulling the strings. This is Rodgers saying we got to make a change. I don't know. I mean, I'm presuming Rodgers is going to go on McAfee later, so I think he'll reveal something there. Maybe he'll give us some insight. Yeah, the curse wheel did fail to work. It did not curse the Chiefs. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is better as a Packer and Bills fan than seeing the Jets self-destruct. It's funny. Dysfunction is always funny, but the Jets are not in a good place right now. They are not in a good place. Longtime Jets fan here. It's nice to see not a damn thing has changed over the last 2 decades for the Jets. The ride never ends. Dang, the Jets are on the ride. Wait, was Nathaniel Hackett actually the driver of the ride? It wasn't Russ. It was Hackett. Welcome, Jets. You're on the ride too. Speaking of ride, if you want to ride with this channel, Underdog sponsoring today's show. Use my promo code That's Good if you want to play Underdog. They have daily fantasy or weekly fantasy games. They've got pick'em games where you guess player stat totals, higher, lower on those totals. Stack a few player guesses together, and you can 10x, 20x, depending how many stacks you do. You can go up to 1,000x now. Underdog supporting this show all year long, supporting a lot of these live streams. And, of course, if we get 10,000 signups at Underdog, they owe me $1 million. That is real, life-changing, game-changing, channel-changing cashola. Damn, you cursed the Chiefs into only winning by 13. Yeah, Kansas City should have won that game by more last night. Oh, Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Pat McAfee has to pretend that Rodgers had absolutely nothing to do with the firing. Yes. Do you guys think like Davante is going to end up with the Jets still? It's been tweeted that this should not affect the Davante Adams going to the Jets trade scenario, trade rumors. But I don't know, man. If I'm Davante, I don't want to go to the Jets. It's also funny. The most wins have come by the arm of Zach Wilson during the Robert Saleh tenure. Can you really put Zach Wilson on Saleh? I put the GM making that decision to draft him above Saleh's pay grade, right? It's hard to win with Zach Wilson. We know that. We know that for sure. I'm seeing. Was there anything else I missed here? Oh, yeah. Diana Rossini was saying, compete now. No, I was looking for the Davante Adams is not going to be affected. There we go. There it is. Bleacher Report has no impact on Davante Adams possibly being traded to the Jets. We'll see. Hackett not being fired speaks volumes. Yeah, Rodgers likes Hackett. They think they're going to figure it out. I think Rodgers, I don't know where the disconnect was between Rodgers and Saleh, right? It feels like Rodgers wants a yes man, and it feels like he had a yes man with Saleh on like, yeah, you do whatever you want on offense. You and Hackett just go out and do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not going to stop you. Maybe now he wants somebody with a little more input. I don't really know. A coach in the NHL got traded. Too bad Saleh didn't. Yeah, could you trade a coach midseason? That would be interesting. Just let Aaron coach. I mean, at this point, I think that's not out of the realm of possibilities. Your damn wheel during the flop 10 killed Achan. I'm sorry. Is his injury bad? I haven't seen the update. I was trying to finish winners and losers this morning, and then this happened. If Saleh does get hired as a defensive coordinator, where does he go? What team needs a new coordinator? Who has the worst defense in the league? That's where I'd say. Yeah, let's look it up. NFL team stats. Again, I think the fit back in San Francisco would be very, very easy for Saleh. Right? He knows the organization. The players know him. He got results there. Not the Chargers, not the Broncos, not the Steelers. They don't need a DC. The Carolina Panthers. That would be a little too hilarious. The Bengals. Ooh, no, they got a guy. They're just not delivering. The Jags. Okay. You got the Rams. The Rams could use him. Ooh, the Raiders. They're not going to do it. The Cardinals with Jonathan Gannon. Nope. They already got a defensive head coach. Ravens are figuring it out. Ooh, the Colts could be interesting. The Browns. He's not going to Cleveland. And see, look, like the 49ers defense, it's not like they're playing bad. They're just not at where they were last year. I don't know. And I don't even know if he would go in as a defensive coordinator versus like a defensive consultant for the season. Maybe that's the way you kind of bring him in there. Jets and Saints been top for Adams. Jets have this, and Carr having MRI today. Yeah, Carr's injury, I think, really stops Davante from going to the Saints, right? Like an oblique injury. It said it didn't look good early on. We'll see what the MRI says, but Dennis Allen is next. What if the Saints fire Dennis Allen and just bring in Robert Saleh as interim? Let's just get batshit crazy with the NFL firing news. At least the Raiders aren't the most dysfunctional team right now. Well, that's true. They're not the most dysfunctional. They're just trying to trade away the receiver who doesn't want to be there. Yes. Saleh might be the sacrificial lamb. This might be the only thing they have left to keep Aaron Rodgers happy before Aaron Rodgers asks to be traded. I think Bill Simmons called it best this offseason. Malpractice to not have moved on from Saleh and hired Vrabel with so much on the line this season. Hey, that would have been nice. Mike Vrabel would have been a good hire, I think, for the Jets. Also a defensive guy, but a very different, I think, mentality for the whole organization. Peterson is next to go. His win on Sunday against Indy keeps him alive for another week. We'll see. Peterson, hot seat. Dennis Allen, maybe hot seat. He bought himself some time with those 2 wins. If Carr gets hurt, that's a built-in excuse for him. Anyway, I appreciate all of you guys joining for this live look at the Jets disaster. I am going to get winners and losers up as soon as possible. And then, of course, we'll have a Jets video up later. I'm sure maybe Davante Adams is traded today. Davante was supposed to go on Kay Adams' show, and then Kay said he had to cancel because there was too much going on for Davante. We all thought that meant he was going to definitely be traded this morning, but maybe he knew the firing was happening. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be back later. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget, Underdog supporting this show. Use my code That's Good. Link in the description if you sign up. And Jets. Oh, God, Jets, your paper planes. Benchwarmershop.com. Good night and good luck. Or good morning.